This is part 3 of our Traveler's Folio series. Welcome, it's Winnie from BellaSunshyn. I am better now, but I still am trying to get over with the flu. So I did work on my project little by little, and I think I still have a lot to do. So let's go ahead and dive in. I think we left off with me putting the bow or lace as a closure. And when I did this one, before I did the other part here, I realized I should have maybe used a thinner lace because this is kind of thick. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a problem, and I didn't want to have to take it out again and start all over again. So I just left it as is. So with this one, I do have some of my stuff already prepped. The next step we need to do is this. I went ahead and glued the backing from our right flip, and I only put glue on this side, and at the bottom, because here is going to be a hidden pocket, which is supposed to be able to put in our little flip thing like this. And I just made this pretty simple right now. I didn't do any embellishment. I might put a pocket up here or anything. I really don't want to put anything here because I don't want anything getting caught inside the pocket. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to go ahead and glue this over here. And then once that's glued, I can go ahead and glue this piece that has my 3 pocket. And I went ahead and sewn in my pockets here. And so what I want to do is glue this also over here, and this is our main spine. I need to make sure that is being covered with this piece. And I think because I have a lot of bulk kind of up here because of the envelope and the lace, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe back this up with another book page. And I probably will go ahead and do the same thing here to kind of make it more leveled. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then when I'm done with that and the glues are dry, then I'll be right back. I just want to quickly show you guys. I went ahead, I had another envelope that I used here, and I just traced this over my book page, cut it to shape a little bit. And then that way, because this has already got like 2 layers, I didn't want to put another layer. And I think this is going to be good enough to put this in. I didn't put anything on the back, so I think I can just go ahead and put this in and glue it that way. And I think we'll be okay. All right, these are dry. Looking pretty good. We're almost there. Now we're going to work on this one here, which is the one that's going to have the elastic X's like this. So what we're going to need to do is that file folder that we had, that piece that's going to go right here. Just making sure my size fits. And it does. So what we're going to use is, I want this to be a little bit padded. And so I want to go ahead and use a Amazon envelope, you know, the one that has the bubbles, or not the bubble, this white thing in it. It kind of gives it a little bit of a bubble to this. So I'm just going to glue this, cut it to size. Now, if you don't have this, you can also use like this one. You see how there's these bubbles? If you're going to use this one, because it's really not going to stick well on paper, is that you want to cut this smaller, like do a 1/4 inch smaller. Let me show you. Let me cut it to size. So if you can see, it's the same size as my file folder. What you want to do with this one is just cut it smaller. maybe, oh, I don't know, a 1/4 inch, maybe. I'm just eyeballing. And then, you see, that's not even enough. You can have it like this, because then when you do your main decoration, like this one, then you're going to be able to glue paper and the cardstock to it, and it's going to sandwich this thing in. Actually, you probably need to be maybe cut a 1/2 inch. Like this. See, now that would be good. So you can try to, oh, sorry, that's my dogs. You can try to glue it, but I know the glue is not going to quite hold still. So just to hold it in place, you can glue it, and then once that's kind of dried, then you can go ahead and put your decoration in there, and you're going to be able to sandwich that thing in. Or you can sew it, which I'm not going to do this one here. I'm going to use this one, and I don't have to worry about sandwiching it in. I just need to go ahead and glue this on this page. I think I might have been better off using the plastic one, because as you can see the white little cushion thing from the envelope all around. So now I got to cover that up, which is an additional step, because the piece that I wanted as a decorative piece here, it's not long enough on one side to be able to go over it. So I'm going to have to go ahead and cover it with just a book page, and that way I can at least ink it, and then you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to glue this like this, cut my corners here, and then go from there. Okay guys, here's what it looks like now. So you can see I did the book page, and then I just covered it with my main one. And now, as you can see, my measurement here, I had to wait till this is dry before we can punch a hole. I'm going to do the 5 holes. Remember, we're doing this piece here. I only have 4 here, but I'm going to do 5 on this one. You can do 4 or 5, whichever you want. You also, I'm going to also use an eyelet. You don't need to use an eyelet. It depends on what your preference is, but here's the measurement where I'm going to start doing the hole. As you can see, I went ahead and lined up. I drew a line on the 1 inch mark, the 3 inch, the 4.5, 6.5, and then the 8. And this one, this does not matter. It's just going to give me a better knowledge of where I need to punch this. It just kind of gives me a grid. So if I'm punching this like this, then it kind of tells me, okay, I'm pretty close. And this is why it's important that you wait till it's dry, because you don't want, if it's not dry, it's going to get all over your little crocodile here. I mean, crocodile. So you just need to go ahead and punch the hole on this side and then on the other side. And then when you do that, once you have the holes already, then you just need to go ahead and put eyelets if you are going to use eyelets. If not, if you're just going to use, you know, reinforcement like these, then you can go ahead and put them, you know, on the front where you can see it. Either way, your preference. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this. Here it is. It took me a couple of hours. I didn't realize I didn't have all the strength to do 10 of these eyelets, but I got it done. So now what we're gonna need is elastic. If you don't have elastic, you can just use any string. I have two with different sizes. I have one that says 0.9 millimeters and the other one is 1.4 millimeters. So you can see, let's see here. See if you guys can see the difference. Hopefully. So I'm going to go with the thicker one on our pocket here. Let me put this back so I don't forget what size it is. Okay, so with this one, I don't know how many I'll need. 1, 2, 3, maybe, no. I think I'm gonna need more than that. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna say 5. Okay, so with this one, it's like you're tying your shoes, and I want to start from the bottom, like this. Turn my page over, and then I just wanna make it even on both sides, right? And then I'm going to tie a knot. And I want to go tight on this. So I'm going to do a double knot. Just going to take a look. And if we had put something in there, it stays on there. I could probably make it tighter, but it's really hard when you don't have a second hand. Let me try to do that again. Well, I couldn't undo it. It's tight enough. Okay, so now we are going to, here's our string, and we're just going to start from the next one, like this. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay, so this, you want to go this direction, going up, right? So there's no crisscross, just like this. Okay, and you turn this over, and you're going to crisscross. So you're gonna go diagonal opposite here, and then the other one, like this, like that. Turn it over, and then you're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna go up, like this, up, like this, and then you crisscross. Now, of course, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get the way you want your string to be or your elastic. So this won't matter because it's going to be glued down anyway. And then we're just going to tie it. And we really need to make sure it's tight. It's a little loose. I'm going to wait to do this for I need a third hand to really get this thing tight. So there it is. Got my X's. It's pretty tight. And here's the back. Just gonna need to go ahead and glue this to this page here. Now with this one, I don't know what I was thinking, but the file folder was not covered, so I just went to look for scraps, and I just happened to have another one of this, and so that's why I have it there, because this should have been overlapping over here, and somehow I did not do that. So with this one, we are just going to glue this the best that we can. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the string here. And then I am going to glue this down and let that sit overnight. And overnight, a couple of hours. While that's drying, what I'm gonna do is, I think all we have left is really the signature. Oh, before we do that, no, the signature, let's see. I do have some signature, so we're gonna need to put it here. And what we're doing with this one here is we're going to put elastic here, so we'll need eyelets. So here's our 2 eyelets, and then the crocodile, and I'm just gonna punch a hole here and then on the other end and put the eyelet in. All right, there it is. Make sure when you put your eyelet, you put the decorative piece on the outside, not the inside. So there's our piece. Before, I just realized also, before we glued this in, I want to put the lace that I decided to put on this side, you know, to cover this line here. I did have one picked out. I have this one I've already decorated, and I'm just gonna put it over here, and I'm gonna tuck it in inside and glue it in the inside there. What I want to do with this one is kind of make it into a pocket, you know, in case when you're traveling, you're in a hurry and you happen to have something in your hand and you want to put it in this journal, but you don't have time to open it. So from the outside, you can just tuck in a little piece of something there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And then once I glue this over like this, hopefully I'm not going to run into a problem. Let's see this piece. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. And then it's going to be covered. And then I'm going to have that glued. While we have the last piece drying, I do have some of my signatures already ready. Well, I have 2 signatures. I haven't decided whether I am going to put both of them or not, but I can do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on these to kind of put them together. I don't have any of these pages decorated. They're all pretty much plain with some of the digitals that came with my summer kit, and I haven't decorated yet. So I think what I'm gonna do off camera is I'm gonna go ahead and decorate a couple of the pages, and then maybe I might end up taking out a couple more pages out so the journals are not too thick for the folio. So as soon as I finish that, we'll go ahead and show you the final finish and do a flip through. One last step, let me show you how to put your string into our folio. So you're just gonna put one here on the top and then on the bottom. Now with this one, you got a couple of options. I am putting mine outside and I'm gonna tie it. And when I do that, what I wanna do is I need to make sure it's tight enough. And the reason why I'm putting it on here is because I'm gonna put some charms at the end of these. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to put charms in here, go ahead and do that. And then what you just need to do is for your tying section here, you would tie it inside so it's kind of hidden. And you just want it to be tight, like this. Okay, so I'm going to do mine on the outside. Oh, on the string that I did, I just did two, you know, one here, one and two. So a little over two is how much you need for your elastic. And I'm using the thicker one, which is the 1.4 millimeters. Then for the signatures that I have, I'm using the thinner one, which is the 0.9 millimeter. And what you want to do on your signature is find the middle, attach the elastic just like this, and then you want to take the second one, and then you're going to tie it tight. So, but make sure you see how where the elastic is. The elastic is at the very end. So you're just going to have to keep pushing it back and then really pull it tight, and then you're gonna do a knot. So once you have the two signatures together by the elastic, like this, what you want to do is go ahead and add it to the folio like this. Like that. And you have the two signatures in here. So when you close it, it's going to look like this. And then you just tie this. And that is pretty much done. So the only thing that I have left is going to be putting some stuff in the pocket here. Originally, when I made this project, or I wanted to make this project, I needed a break from my other projects. And so I thought this would be quick and easy, but I guess because I got the flu, it ended up taking a lot longer than what I expected it to. And it was a fun little project. I definitely would make another one. I would make something a little bit different. Like for instance, with this one, these pockets here, I don't think I would do this again. I would do an envelope, but I want a closure in there so I can put a lot of stuff in there. You know, when you're on vacation, you're traveling, you're collecting pamphlets, paper, whatever, and you need some storage to put them in there. And then on the other end, I would put, instead of doing the flip here, which is fun, but this is really not necessary, I would definitely do another envelope on this side also for more storage. Overall, I really love how it turned out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the flip through at the end, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.